How's everyone going out there? Welcome to the hashtag Run302 podcast. I am Coach AJ Foy. I am the head basketball coach for the Cross Christian Academy Centurions, as well as the athletic director here. Welcome to episode 1, season 1 of the hashtag Run302 podcast. This isn't going to be a real long episode. This is definitely going to be shorter. Our normal podcast episodes are going to be roughly about 30 minutes, give or take, a minute here and there, but right around 30-minute time period for our normal hashtag Run302 podcast episodes. But this episode, we just wanted to, have an introductory episode, the pilot episode, what we're going to cover, what inspired us to start our own podcast, our upload times, just dive in a loose grasp of what this whole thing is going to be, the hashtag Run302 podcast. So, first and foremost, let's talk about hashtag Run302. I know that's going to piss some people off in the area. I know there's people going to be like, well, who are you to, come onto the scene and, just claim the hashtag Run302 and all those things. It's not here to piss anyone off, ruffle anyone's feathers, even that's what we seem to do. It's just, we're just trying to build this thing. We're trying to keep, growing 302 First State sports, basketball. That's all we're trying to do is we're trying to keep growing basketball. We do things differently here. There's things that we can do that other teams, DIAA, those kind of things, those teams can't do. The big thing is, yes, we do offer fifth years. Not post-grad. We offer fifth years. We reclass. And that's something we'll dive into in another episode. There is a difference between post-grad and fifth year. That's just one of the things we're going to dive into on the 302 podcast. But we do things different. We take this serious. One of my mentors have always said, make things big where you're at. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make this program big. We're trying to make this program big. We have a video coordinator that tapes all of our games, gives players their individual highlights after every game. We have a great social media guy. He's in charge of the Twitter account. He's in charge of our Instagram account. We have our own Twitter and Instagram account for our basketball programs. We push out the highlights. We're out there. We have a social media presence. I just think we do things so incredible. We have an academic advisor that follows the NCAA guidelines. We just got re-accredited with the NCAA a couple months ago. We're back on the NCAA website. We have our own NCAA ID. We're doing things differently, and that's part of the whole hashtag Run302. I think that if you're a basketball player in 302, and maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I think if you're a basketball player with dreams and aspirations, especially down south, like if you're below Dover, especially, but I think in the whole state in general, if you're a basketball player in 302 that wants to play in college, I think that the Cross Christian Academy is where you need to be. And again, I know that's going to ruffle feathers, and that's part of this 302 podcast is to explain ourselves, give ourselves a voice, because we're not very well covered. We're not hardly at all. We did have somebody come out to one of our games a couple weeks ago and did post our stats, did post our quarter for quarter, and I'm grateful for that. But for what we've done, last year they had three kids graduate and go on to play in college. This year, our entire starting five, our class of 2023, our entire starting five are going to graduate this year, and it looks like they're all on pace to play in college somewhere for a basketball program and help a college program. And you dive into the analytics of that. You dive into the statistics of how many kids go on to graduate from high school and play in college, and we're going to have 5 in one recruiting class go on to play in college. It's incredible. It's nothing short of incredible what we're doing down here. And I just think that it's not publicized enough. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions, and the reason why is because we don't have our own voice. We don't. We've kind of always played it'll all play out itself. The truth will come out. It'll all play out itself. But it seems to be the more quiet we are, the more misconceptions are put out there, the more misunderstanding that's happening, the more misinformation that's being put out there. So finally, after a lot of planning, after a lot of talking, a lot of preparing, we decided to just come out with our own podcast. We'll voice ourselves. If other people want to start covering us after this, if other people want to start publicizing us more after the podcast comes out, that's great. We'd love that. We would completely encourage that. We would love some collaboration. We'd love more publicity with other people and other outlets. But at the end of the day, is no matter what, our voice is now being heard. We have our own avenue to put out the right information out there. There was a time when I first got this job, I was here for a week. I heard out in the public that I've never coached before. I've coached for 7 years. I've coached since I was 23 years old. But I was told that I don't have any coaching experience. Like, that's just a small example of the misinformation that's been put out there about our program and our school and the way we do things. Our upload schedule is going to be, we're going to record our videos, over the weekend, and we're going to put it out on hump day, right in the middle of the week, Wednesday. We're going to upload them for you. Like I said, this one is just the pilot episode, season 1, episode 1. It's going to be a weekly podcast from now to the end of the season. We're very close to the end of the season, so season 1 is going to be pretty short. But moving forward, every time the season starts, it's going to be once a week till the end of the season, from December all the way through March. So that's going to be our seasons. And like I said, once a week, uploaded Wednesdays, on time and on schedule, like that. And what we hope to get from that is, again, to let people understand what we're trying to do. Let people get and grasp what we're doing around here. Understand that this is a normal thing. Just because Delaware has never done this. Delaware's never seen somebody that a program that offers 5 years. Delaware hasn't seen teams that travel like this. Delaware hasn't seen, I don't think, a team that has social media presence like we do. We're making this thing big where we are. We're making it big where we're standing. That's an important thing, and we're doing it to publicize. We're doing it to get exposure for the 302 athletes. That's what we're doing it for. That's what it all comes down for. This is a players first program. All we're doing is trying to push our kids, push them, and get them exposure out there to the college programs. And I think it's working. I really do. I think it's excelling. I think that the numbers speak for themselves. Like I said, last year, 3 kids went on to play in college basketball. This year, our entire starting 5 graduating this year in 2023 are going to look like go on to play college basketball. So what we're doing is working. We're not going to change it. We're not going anywhere, and I would hope that we win some people over by having our own voice and putting out the truth, putting out what we're really doing out there instead of other people in the community doing it for us that have no idea what they're talking about, and that's the truth. There's a lot of people in Delaware who think they know what goes on out there, but they don't. That's the truth. I've heard it enough to know. There's definitely people out there that have a voice that aren't telling what needs to be told and aren't telling what's truthful and, don't understand what we're doing. But, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, all those places, they're 5th-year programs, prep programs, post-grad programs. They're all a normal thing there. Delaware doesn't have anything like that. Again, we're not a post-grad program, but I'm just throwing it out there. Post-grads, 5th years, reclassing, that's a thing that happens everywhere in New Jersey, PA, Virginia, all these places that we go and play. I mean, we play a mostly post-grad schedule, even though we're not a post-grad school, but post-grad schools are very good competition. That's why we play them. We want to play the highest level competition. I think we play the hardest schedule in Delaware. I really do believe that with all my heart. I think that we play the hardest schedule in Delaware. And the reason for that is okay, we have kids that come here, they want to play in college. Okay, good. Let's put you against other kids that are going to play in college. That's the only way to know if you can or not, is put you against other competition that are going to play in college. We played against a team, the Phelps, their national team. They had 6 guys with Division I offers. They had a kid, 2025, that had a Division I offer from Duke. Those are who we're playing against. Did we get our butt whooped? Yeah, we got beat up pretty good. But at the end of the day, our kids were able to play at that level. Our kids were able to see that kind of speed. Our kids were able to see what a Division I player looks like, a high-level, blue-chip Division I player looks like. And that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to give those kids different experiences, trying to give those kids exposure, trying to get those kids from Delaware on the court with other high-level athletes from other states. Because basketball is different from state to state. The way they play, the level of play, the speed that they play at is different. You talk to any of our kids when we go out to play Philadelphia, New Jersey, the speed is just up and down all the time. It's push, 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 push. That's the way they play up there, especially in like PA when you have a shot clock. There's a reason that we see a lot of Delaware grown athletes, Delaware guys that born and raised here in Delaware move to PA and play in the Catholic leagues, because the Catholic League basketball is high quality basketball and they're going to get recruited there. That's why they do that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the athletes here. We want them to come to Cross Christian. If that's your goal, is to play in college, if you want to go to like a Catholic league, then come to Cross Christian here, and we'll go schedule a Catholic league team. We'll play anybody. When I got this job, you guys are going to laugh. When I got this job, I emailed Camden. I didn't get a response, but I emailed him. I mean, we'll play anybody. If you will play us, we'll play you. We don't back down. We might, we're not always going to win, but we won't back down. We'll play whoever that will play us, and that's the truth. And like I said, at the end of the day, we just wanted to put a voice out there. Like I said, we're not going to win over everybody. There's going to be people out here that have already made up their mind. They're not going to like the Cross Christian Academy no matter what we do, no matter what we produce. It's never going to happen. We're never going to win them over. They're never going to be pro Cross Christian, and that's okay. That's fine. If you don't want to hop on that train, that's fine. But we're hoping to win over enough people to get more support. We need this. We should be a beacon of light for this community, Seaford, Delaware. We should be a beacon of light for Delaware in general. If your kid, or somebody who wants to play in college, this is where they need to be. So, like I said, that's just the purpose of why we decided to start the hashtag Run302 podcast. Like I said, this is just episode 1. It's really just a little summary of what we're going to cover from season to season on here. We're going to have weekly uploads. Next week's going to be week 1 of the official season starting. Next week is going to be the origin story. We're going to talk about how our school started. It actually came from one school closing and our headmaster taking over and shifting those students and keeping those students in class and starting the Cross Christian Academy. That's how that started. We'll go into more detail next week. Talk about how our basketball program started, how we only play Christian schools where it started off, and how every year we've kind of grown more. We've advanced the program every year. Our level of competition has grown. The type of player has grown. Even talk about myself a little bit. It's not about me. Never is about me. But like I said, I did hear a rumor out there that I never coached before, that this was my first year coaching. So I think it's important to put a little bit of background and a little bit of perspective on that as well. I came from New Jersey. I moved here from New Jersey, but I lived in Delaware till I was 16 years old. So I'm from Delaware. I actually went to Lake Forest. So just a little sneak peek of what next week's going to bring, the origin story. Like I said, we're going to talk about how the school was formed, how the basketball program was formed and started, how it took leaps, and then talk about my background a little bit and why this is so important for me. I feel like I'm right at home. I feel like right where I'm supposed to be at this program, and I'm excited for what the future holds. And we're going to make this thing big time, with or without you. So you might as well jump on board and hop on board. So, like I said, this was just a little brief summary of what's going to happen moving forward for the hashtag Run302 podcast. Hope you can join us every week. It's going to be worth watching. You're going to find out all the information you need to find on us, the information that needs to be put out there, and give us a voice, and hopefully we'll have your support after this. And everybody take care and have a good day.